Being a wizard is a pretty common theme in VR. You would be surprised how many people want to play with magic.
It's one of the most common things in gaming. Even card games are all about being a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry. I couldn't resist.
I wish you had.
Hey guys, I'm Crypto Spook, and this is The Wizards.
And this is Moriarty, and this is The Wizards.
This is The Wizards. So you play as, obviously, a wizard, but you're a learning wizard, so you're an apprentice, I suppose. There are multiple different spells that you cast by pulling the triggers and making gestures in the air with both hands. And it's surprisingly intuitive.
That's kind of rare.
It is. It is very rare. I found myself easily remembering every single spell, even when I got up to 5 or 6 different spells. Now, I don't remember if I put this on easy or not, or if there even was a difficulty selector, but I know that I had a good time playing the game.
Well, that's kind of the whole critique then, isn't it?
That is the whole critique then. It's $20. Go ahead and buy it. You're welcome.
What is there to do in the game other than just run around and throw stuff at people?
So there's multiple different modes, and they are all seamlessly integrated into the story. You go through and you play through different levels, and in those levels, you're given a mission. Some of the missions are a little bit tower defense-like, some of them are running around, some of them are learning spells and progressing the story. It's not that diverse, they just have a whole bunch of different story modes that you can play.
It's diverse, but it's not diverse.
No, it is diverse. I don't know why I even said that. So it's a very diverse game. You're gonna have fun playing it. All of the different modes come together as different levels, and you can keep playing, up to 1, 2, 3, 4 levels of that same mode to progress the story further in that direction, getting harder and harder each time. I think my favorite part was the free locomotion type missions where you're given an objective and you have to get there and do it. And usually those include using both methods of locomotion. Like you'll have to free run all over the place, and then you might have to teleport to get up to some higher levels, stuff like that. Solve a couple puzzles, knock down some walls. All in all, the game looked really good and sounded even better.
I'm a little underwhelmed by the magic.
Well, this is just one of the magics. There's actually quite a few different magics in the game that I'm not even showing you yet.
I watch you throw this fireball, and I watch it hit the wall, and I watch it basically do nothing. And I'm like, okay, so you're throwing pebble fireballs. You are ultra weak. You are the weakest of all the weak sauces.
This is the first spell you learn in the game.
You're a very weak sauce wizard.
Well, wizards are squishy. They're supposed to be.
Yeah, they're squishy, but they're also supposed to do just a disgusting amount of damage.
Well, they do. You learn lots of new and advanced spells, and you very easily memorize them because it's literally just hand gestures, and there's not that many different hand gestures. Once you start unlocking some of the advanced spells, you're going to start having a good time.
So you're saying it's not fun at first?
No, it is fun at first. Anytime you're throwing magic, you're going to have a good time. But once you start unlocking, like, the homing magic missiles, it's even better. And I guess that looked entirely underwhelming, but that was the magic missiles.
That looked very underwhelming.
Well, watch me whip and watch me nay-nay, because that's kind of what it looks like the guy's doing. That's what the gesture looks like a little bit. He's like, throwing his hand. You start your hands in the middle together, and then you kind of put one up, one down, and then you alternate them in a circle.
So you turn a giant wheel.
Basically, yes. You can get very easily overwhelmed in some of these wave defense modes, because they throw a lot of enemies at you. And when you're under the crunch, it can get hard to remember all the different spells that you have at your disposal.
Okay, what I'm gathering, you tell me if this is wrong. I know it's not wrong, by the way. But you tell me if it's wrong so that I can tell you that you're wrong about me being wrong.
Okay.
The game is fun to play, but it looks very, very dull to watch.
I think it was really fun to play. I don't know about watching it because I only played it. I think if you were playing through the game, you would have a good time. It's got elements of adventure, it's got elements of wave-based shooter, it's got magic, which is really the most important part here. Am I wrong?
I mean, it's a game about magic, so having magic in it is probably a good thing.
Well, you are a wizard.
Harry.
Oh, see?
I couldn't resist.
See? They do actually add a little bit of homing to some of the spells, which I think is probably the best part.
With a lot of these games, one of the problems that we continuously have is that throwing just sucks in VR. Like, there's not a whole lot of games that get throwing right. You end up throwing and it goes like 2 feet in front of you or it goes 30 feet away, and there's just not a whole lot of that awesome, like, ooh, I got it. So if it's magic, yeah, it should absolutely go straight for the guy that you're shooting. Help me out a little bit here, guys. I mean, come on, my hands are already shaking like I've got Parkinson's. Like, help me out, you know?
Well, I will say that they do, and once you start really getting into remembering some of these different spells, you can really start to feel like a badass. Like, when you're like seamlessly throwing fireballs, you see somebody throwing a projectile at you, and you just magically magic up a shield right in front of your face to block it, and then throw a fireball back at their face. You feel cool. Now, I did have one issue with that game, and that was with the pointing system. Your pointing system is crap. You have to like point with like your palms down, and then it makes this magic projector. I don't understand how it was supposed to work, but I know it didn't work right. I didn't like it, but I did like the locomotion system.
So I want to watch this, because this was the most boring thing. Watching you use this magic missile thing, nothing happens. Like, what? I see nothing happen.
It just killed everything.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, they all died. Once you hit the projectile, all of them home in on different targets and kill them.
I mean, if you say so.
I did say so.
This seems like it's a fun game to play, but it's a very dull game to watch.
If this was co-op, if this was online multiplayer co-op, this would be a fantastic game. This would be way better than Elven Assassin.
I mean, if you say so.
I did say so.
I'm going to go ahead and just have to take your word for it. I feel like this is one of those titles that you have to try to actually kind of get it. Otherwise, just another tower defense game.
Oh no, this is barely at all a tower defense game. This is just one of several different missions in the game.
Again, while I'm watching this, I look at it and it just looks kind of the same. All of these things that you're saying that made this game good are things that you cannot see in a video and that you cannot get without playing the game.
Well, that's the case with most VR games.
I don't think so. I think that you can see when a game is fun a lot of the time, and I just don't see that here. I'm not seeing a good time. I'm seeing a very basic title. It may be that it's a lot of fun, but I think this is one of those things that I can't recommend because it looks incredibly boring to me.
Well, that's unfortunate. I don't know why you would think this game's boring.
It just looks very dull to me. This is not my style of tea. I'm not drinking this.
Not my style of tea. You prefer the uncaffeinated tea, the decaf tea.
Just isn't doing it for me.
I'm going to need that, we're going to put the tea bag in for like half a second, and then we're going to take it out, and then we're just going to smother it with milk. You won't even see the tea.
Not picking up whatever sort of chickens you're cooking, okay?
I don't understand any of these references you're making.
It just doesn't feel like anything cool to me. I get that is that, but that is what that is.
I think you're smoking something. Okay, guys, this game is The Wizards. It's $20. It has an awesome soundtrack. The gameplay is enticing, fun, entertaining. There's multiple different modes within the game that all seamlessly play together. You learn a new spell every time you finish a mission. I don't know why Moriarty doesn't like it, but I loved it. I recommend you get this. I would pay $20 for it again, and I don't know why he wouldn't. It's just not his cup of tea, but this is something I'm interested in.
I'm just not interested in this brand of baloney.
I don't even think you like bologna.
I don't like baloney. This is baloney to me.
Well, that's why you didn't like it, because it's not bologna. This is like maybe a little bit of pepperoni. It's delicious. A little bit salty, just like Moriarty.
If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. But if you did like it, why don't you watch another one up there in the corner? And as always,
we'll see you on the next one.